Hey PruvIt Nation, Dr. Heather Carden here, one of your nutrition specialists for PruvIt. I want to say what's happening out there. I'm coming to you live from Overland Park, Kansas. Last week I was coming to you live from Florida, but the great news is I brought the sun back to Kansas. So again, my name is Dr. Heather Carden. I am one of your PruvIt nutrition specialists along with Dr. Andrew Campitelli. We're going to wait a few minutes here for other friends to join, and know that if people aren't able to get on our Ask a Specialist or ask about the PruvIt products, that you can share this. They can get on later. They can actually scroll through and read a lot of testimonies that people share. You can copy this to your Facebook page. You can send it through Messenger. You can actually go back on the PruvIt Facebook page and go through videos and see the last several weeks of videos. You can see Rob DeBoer and his Fitness Friday videos, Keto Mom's video. But guess what today is? I'm going to see if anybody guesses what today is. Today is our very last Ask a Specialist of 2016. Keto Mom, Stephanie, actually kind of brought that to my attention. It's our very last one. I can't believe how fast the time has gone, but I'm super excited for what 2017 has to offer. This is probably the last week, thank you, that we're ever talking about only 3 products for PruvIt. I think what's coming in the future and what's going to be announced at Epic is absolutely going to be epic. We're going to hear some major announcements there, so our conversation's definitely going to be different in the next couple weeks than it is today. We're going to be talking about new products that PruvIt will be launching. I don't know the dates. You will find them out just as soon as I do, so stay tuned to the PruvIt Pulse app and to the Facebook page. That's where all the announcements are gone. So we're going to start with the basic 101 like we do every single week. I am a wellness practitioner and have practiced for almost 20 years. In March, I will say 20 years. I have always had a low-carb, high-fat diet. I've lived a low-carb, high-fat diet. I've taught the ketogenic diet to my patients with specific medical needs and use it as an adjunctive tool to help them with their other therapies. So I definitely am excited when I heard that we had the first pure therapeutic exogenous ketone that you can actually drink and get all the benefits of ketones within just a few minutes. So I am very blessed to be here every week sharing great information with you. I want to welcome everyone who's new to PruvIt. I know that we're growing by 20 to 30% every month, and every week I have brand new people on here who are just learning about the ketone conversation. So I do start with the basics for all the new people here. Maybe people have just been drinking Keto OS for months or weeks and didn't even know what they were drinking. So let's talk about that. Yes, definitely need the max. My sons are giving me my props for our talk today. So, and at the end of the last 5 minutes, I will go through all of the products that PruvIt has and kind of give you the lowdown of the ingredients. So if you ask ingredient questions during our conversation, no, I'm not missing you. I'm actually just going to answer those at the end. So what are ketones? Ketones are simply a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism. Babies are born in ketosis. Mother's milk has ketones. It is our native fuel, which means that's the way that we come into the life, which is burning ketones. There may be times during your life that maybe you've been an endurance runner, athlete, maybe you've slept too long. Your body can actually go into ketosis in those simple little fasting states. Maybe you were prepped for surgery and didn't have any food the day before, a couple days after. Your body reverted to ketones for fuel. Normally what's happened in order for our body to get ketones for fuel is that our body has to go into a semi-fasting state or really low carb state, and it will take really anywhere from a few days to weeks to get our body to really get into burning ketones. We'll talk about those amazing benefits in just a minute. So ketones are simply a byproduct of fat metabolism, like glucose is a byproduct of carbohydrate and fat metabolism. The great thing is our body doesn't use any insulin when our body's using ketones for fuel, which is amazing when we talk about the statistics of type 1 and type 2 and type 3 diabetes. Ketosis is simply a word that means our body's burning fat for fuel and that we have an elevated level of blood ketones. We can measure those 3 different ways. We can measure it through our urine, we can measure it through our breath, or we can measure it through our blood. Blood is the most exact and reliable. The urine sticks actually can give you the most negative, or it's the most unreliable, but it's the simplest and easiest to use. What happens is when we're first learning about ketones or getting our body into ketosis, the urine sticks will change a color. They're called keto sticks, but after several weeks or months, when your body's truly getting fat adapted, those urine sticks really don't show ketones anymore. And people say, I know I'm in ketosis, I feel I'm in ketosis, I feel fabulous, but that stick is not changing a color. What that means is the body is actually in the same thought pattern as you. As the body says, hey, I'm going to burn ketones for fuel. I'm not going to be resorting to the glucose fuel that I had been for several decades. So your body holds onto those ketones and stores them for a more efficient fuel source. So don't get upset if you know that your body's in ketosis and it's been several weeks or months and the urine sticks aren't changing colors. Blood, again, is the most reliable. Many of the blood meters you do need to calibrate, so make sure that you calibrate your one specifically. So we've talked about ketones, a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism. Ketosis is an elevated level of blood ketones. What is keto OS? Keto OS is simply exogenous ketones. When our body makes ketones, they're called endogenous. It's a process of low carb, almost a fasting state. Our liver makes those ketones and burns them. With exogenous ketones, we're simply taking them outside the body, drinking them, and get all the amazing benefits that we have. And so when you look at what the benefits are, you can Google ketones in just about anything. You're going to see right on the side of the bottle, fat loss, muscle protection, fast and sustainable energy. And we'll talk about these a little bit more. Reduced brain fog, better focus, better sleep, better recall, better moods, better digestion, and clearer skin, and decrease in inflammation. So as those questions come up, I'll go into a little deeper depth with those. So let's start answering some questions. I missed the one that Shelly just said. I have a customer who is on thyroid medication. Can it help? So I'm in a rapid fire answer questions, Lauren. So as with anything, ketone is or keto OS is a nutritional supplement. So it is safe to take with any other nutritional products. It is not a meal replacement. It is not a protein shake. It is not a digestive enzyme. It is not a B vitamin. It is simply an exogenous ketone supplement. So you can take it with any of your other supplements. You can take it with any of your other medications. So yes, it is safe to take with a thyroid condition. Yes, it's safe to take with diabetes, but know that we're not making any health claims, and always check with your healthcare provider before adding any new supplement to your regimen. So yes, it's safe for your thyroid. Oh, hello, Marion. It's brand new. Everyone gives her a hello and has hello and thumbs up if Marion here. And she says, I know if I should be following a ketogenic diet or not. Marion, the amazing thing is that you don't have to follow any diet. You can simply eat how you've been doing to get all the benefits of ketones. So what that means is you can drink Keto OS and diet independent, which means you don't have to be on a ketogenic diet. You will get the benefits of ketones. But as a healthcare provider, I always suggest a whole food diet. I suggest a low carb, high fat, non-processed food, but you can simply eat your bagel if you want to, and you can drink Keto OS and you can get the benefits of ketones. So you don't have to change your diet, but our corporate page does have the Native 8, and we're going to be talking a lot more of that in 2017 about how to really get your body into optimal state of health, which is having more of a low carb, high fat, leaving out the processed sugars in diet. But you don't have to change your diet. I know people all the time are like, I don't want to start my Keto OS. I haven't changed my diet yet, and I'm going to do that in 2017, or I'm going to wait till after Valentine's Day, or I'm going to wait. You don't have to wait. You can simply drink Keto OS. You can start getting the amazing benefits of Keto OS. And then what happens is the benefits actually lead you to a new health journey, because ketones reduce cravings. Ketones give you more energy, which will give you more energy to go work out if you've been waiting to work out, or really quit those sugary foods, because ketones reduce cravings. So Marion said, do I need to take a supplement? So I'm going to continue with her question. So if you're already on a ketogenic diet or you're already fat adapted, yes, you can still use Keto OS. There's a lot of clinical data if you look at, especially in the performance world, about using Keto OS in addition to a ketogenic diet or fat adapted diet, because adding the exogenous ketones help raise our level of ketosis, help keep them at a more steady state. Because we know that if you're in natural ketosis, there's many things that can throw you back out. Maybe not enough sleep, or maybe too much exercise, or not enough exercise, or 2 extra ounces of protein can throw you out of natural ketosis. Well, Keto OS is where you can actually drink that and put the ketones right back in your body to stay on that same healthcare journey that you want. Again, there's a lot of information coming out daily about people on a ketogenic diet adding exogenous ketones. I think there was a study done by Dr. Finney in 2010 about performance on that, and there's a couple studies done last year. So you can always Google ketones or exogenous ketones and performance, exogenous ketones or ketones and thyroid, any of those diseases that you'd like to, or conditions, and you'll get a lot of information about that. So Shelly, I'm going to ask you to send me a question to support@PruvItHQ.com and give me a little bit more information. And so we do know that Keto OS is 99% effective. That means 99% of the time, with one single serving of Keto OS, your body will be in ketosis in less than 59 minutes. And that's amazing, knowing that it used to take us weeks or months to do that. So let's talk about who Keto OS is safe for. Susan's saying, can the product cause fluid retention? So Susan, I'm glad you asked that. So some people can experience a little bit of fluid retention the first few days. Ketones are very, very acidic. So, and they're also a great natural diuretic. So in order to balance out the acidity, we put minerals back in like magnesium and calcium and sodium to help balance out the acidity of the ketones. And then we know that ketones are a great diuretic. So what that means is people will lose water weight. They will lose fat or water out of fat cells. It's a great anti-inflammatory. So as we lose inflammation, as we lose water out of fat cells, our body also takes along healthy sodium, magnesium, potassium, and calcium with it. So when you look at the Keto OS formulation of the ketone salts, we have added sodium in there, we have added calcium in there, and potassium to help replace those minerals that are lost through a natural process of your body experiencing ketosis. So if you notice that you're getting a little swelling the first couple days, that means your body's not ready for that much Keto OS just yet. So simply reduce your serving and make sure that you're drinking plenty enough water. Can you take it while you're pregnant? Catherine, the answer is yes. I always say Keto OS is safe womb to tomb. That means babies are born in ketosis. It's actually a great signaler for our brain and the baby's brain. It helps balance out our blood sugar, which I know is a big problem coming up when women are pregnant. So yes, it's safe to take when you're pregnant. I do recommend that you drink plenty of water and use the caffeine-free, and check with your nurse midwife or your OB before using any product. It is safe with nursing. And again, we say it's womb to tomb. So as we know, as an aging population happens, we actually start to lose the ability to uptake glucose, which comes from carbohydrates, but our brain can still uptake and prefer the fuel of ketones for our body. So as we age, it's a better fuel source for our brain. So safe womb to tomb. Yeah, there's Ginger's sharing her testimony. So if you guys don't have questions, there's a lot of people sharing a lot of amazing information here that they've been experiencing using Keto OS themselves. So I love when people share that great information. Dr. Heather, any ideas? Max cause swollen tongue or throat? So Mark Greenwood's asking a question there. I'm going to talk a little bit about allergies because we have 3 different formulas of Keto OS. We know that Max is vegan certified. The salts are kosher certified. It doesn't have any dairy in there. It doesn't have any iodine. The 2.1 has a little bit of dairy used to plate the MCT oil to the BHB. That's where the iodine comes from, and the B12. So they're just naturally occurring in the little bit of low-fat cow's milk that's there. So if you have an allergy to milk, then I wouldn't choose 2.1. If you're following a vegan diet, then Max would be a great one for you. If your tongue is swelling a little bit, I would make sure that your body is well hydrated, because that can happen when your body gets dehydrated, as your tongue gets super thick and can get scalded. We know that 79% of Americans are dehydrated. Ketones are an amazing natural diuretic and anti-inflammatory. So make sure that you have plenty of water in your system and just go a little bit slower. So Ryan's asking about post-surgical recovery. Ryan, that's a great question. My answer is yes to my patients, but again, check with your medical professional. We know that ketones, specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate, which is the main and only ketone body in the PruvIt products, stops NLRP3 inflammasome. All that means is that beta-hydroxybutyrate, or BHB, inhibits an inflammatory cascade from happening. So post-surgery, it's an amazing tool. We know that it balances blood sugar, so it's an amazing tool post-surgery also to help balance blood sugar, and it's a great source of energy and provides 38% more oxygen. So as you're recovering from any surgery, oxygen is very important for recovery. If it's a surgical issue or they've cut your body or something like that, it's a great reason to use it. So yes, post-surgery, I'm saying yes to, but again, check with your doctor. Anne-Marie, I want to have you Google bipolar and ketones. There was a great article I posted last week about the effects of beta-hydroxybutyrate and anxiety, but we know that ketones are amazing signalers for our brain. It doesn't require any insulin for ketones to cross the blood-brain barrier. So there's a lot of information there about anxiety and depression, bipolar, OCD. PruvIt has not done any of those clinical studies, but I know that we've studied ketones for almost 100 years, so the information is out there. Just simply Google it and you can find it really quickly. So Javier, I think I'm saying your name right, says, hey doc, I need to lose weight and have diabetes. So Keto OS is not a weight loss supplement. Surprise! It is not a weight loss supplement, but the benefits of ketones actually lead to fat loss. Most people overeat because they're tired, they're hungry, their blood sugar drops. So if you could use a supplement that actually gave you more energy, actually stopped the cravings, and actually balance out your blood sugar, then you wouldn't overeat because you were hungry, you wouldn't eat and grab a sugar food because you were tired, and your blood sugar would be balanced much better. So the benefits of ketones are what lead to fat loss. So again, it's not a weight loss supplement, but the benefits do lead to fat loss. And we know with diabetes, especially type 2, and what happens with type 2 is that our body, we just used up all the insulin. So what happens is that we have to use medications to help stabilize that. But Dr. Veach wrote a great article proposing that the use of exogenous ketones actually cause our body to release less insulin upon food induction or taking. I know it's kind of a hard concept. So normally if our body eats a bagel and say we release so many units of insulin in order to digest that and make glucose, when we have exogenous ketones in our body and we have the same carbohydrate, our body releases less insulin, so less need for insulin. Then we have less glucose release, which means less fat storage, because that's what happens with extra glucose. We store it for fat for a rainy day. So if you need more information about that, go to PruvItNow.com. At the top of the page, there's a question mark with a circle. I had a postcard here here it is. I tried to make it backwards. So there's a question mark with a circle on the top of PruvItNow.com that has all the amazing source, whether it tells you why ketones are safe for pregnancy, for nursing, for type 1, type 2 diabetes. It's safe for your kidneys, it's safe for your liver. Lots of great health information there. So always check there first if your answer's not coming up super quickly. And somebody says, how many shakes, Marion says, how many shakes a day? So 1 serving a day is considered a therapeutic dose. 2 servings a day is considered optimal dose. So you can choose to have 1/2 to 1 serving a day, once or twice a day. I know those biohackers out there, and I say it every week, want to really see how far they can take their ketone level up. The great thing is that Keto OS is water soluble. Remember, with endogenous ketones, your liver's doing the work. With exogenous, liver doesn't do any work. Your gallbladder, your pancreas, stomach, you simply drink it. It gets absorbed through the bloodstream, and our body uses what it needs, and then it releases what it doesn't need. So it's really high. We haven't found any clinical studies where the exogenous ketone levels have really exceeded any dangerous level. So after almost 11 million servings, Keto OS is safe to use. Again, we recommend 1 to 2 servings a day. Yeah, and Frank's saying again, a couple servings a day. So Vianne asks, will it help menopause symptoms? Really common question. Does Keto OS have any hormones in it? And the answer is no. Keto OS has beta hydroxybutyrate, which is a ketone salt, which is a byproduct of fat metabolism. But we also know that fats, if we take cholesterol, all break down into all of our hormones: progesterone, DHEA, testosterone, estradiol, androgen. Those things all come from fatty acid metabolism. But we also know that our primary circuit breaker, which is our pituitary and hypothalamus, all have signalers that release those hormones. So Keto OS, or beta hydroxybutyrate, that is not a hormone, but they're amazing signalers for our brain. So if we can get a better signal to our brain for our releasing hormones through the rest of our body, things actually function much better. So you'll hear a lot of testimonies of people saying, gosh, I've got amazing energy. You're going to see reports of people using exogenous ketones and testosterone levels rising, their PMS or menopause symptoms actually kind of balancing down. And especially as we start to reduce sugar cravings, you're going to see those hormones come to a more healthy state. Again, no research has been done by PruvIt, but we're simply relying on the information that has been published and studied over the last several years. Oh, Anna, why would someone have BO after drinking ketones? So ketones can have an amazing little flavor to them. So people will hear about keto breath, which is just acetone. It's what our body breathes out, and there are some meters that check for that. But also know that if we're losing inflammation, inflammation has an odor to it. So think of those socks after you work out, your white socks that sometimes turn brown. That's actually inflammation in our sweat coming out. So if you're using Keto OS and you're getting a great diuretic effect, or you're getting a great anti-inflammatory effect, you may experience a little bit more BO, a little bit more gas, a little bit more odor. That's actually a great thing that's happening because your body's getting rid of those toxins through a natural inflammation process, or stopping that inflammatory process from happening. And Soma is saying what she experienced taking Keto OS, and it's actually lowering her bioidentical hormones. So there's great testimonies there. And if we haven't addressed your question, or you're looking for a specific topic, on the face of this Facebook page, which is facebook.com/justproveit, in the search bar, you can always just put a condition, put hormones in there, put gastritis, put ulcerative colitis, put something like that in there, and you're going to find amazing testimonies from the people who've used it over the last 16 months. So John's asking a question that says, does this become alkaline when it digests? How does your body process the acid? So John, I'm not for sure which formula you're talking about, but know that our stomach has a pH of about 1.0. But when we drink Keto OS, it's absorbed through the bloodstream. So our stomach makes things acidic that need to be acidic because it helps break them down. But the Keto OS, or ketones, are already broken down for you. The MCT, the liver, does have to do a little bit of work in the 2.1, but our stomach, again, is always in a natural acidic state. And as we travel throughout our GI system, pHs vary throughout the body. The body knows what to do, so it should adjust naturally to that. So Kevin's asking, Kevin, thank you for asking this. How much beta hydroxybutyrate is in a serving of Keto OS? So the question is enough to put you into ketosis in less than 1 hour. I know some of you out there want to have the exact milligrams, but we have a patent protected blend, and we put a lot of research and a lot of money and a lot of time into getting the formulation just right. So 99% of the time you're going to get into ketosis. So I am not able to share the milligrams of caffeine or the milligrams of the amino acids or the milligrams of beta hydroxybutyrate. There are other things that can be shared, and they're on the PruvItNow.com on the health center page, and they'll tell you all about the other milligrams. You can read the back of the package to see if the max has the least amount of sodium if you're worried about it. You can get all those. The package labels are on PruvItNow.com in the health center on the back of everything. But the amount of BHBs will not be shared. That is the patent protected blend. Again, PruvIt's just done so much work. We call it Protect the House. So in order to further our research and to be on top of the ketone conversation in the next couple of years or couple of decades, that's actually kept all safe to the lab. They don't even release it to me. But no, 99% of the time, there is enough beta hydroxybutyrate to put you into ketosis in less than 59 minutes. So I think that's the most important thing to know. Yeah, and so Sarah's saying that she's using electrolytes. So Sarah, we talked about that a little bit about ketones being a natural diuretic. So Sarah's saying that she actually adds extra electrolytes to her ketone. I always say add a multimineral to your daily supplement list. If you're a person who's experiencing a lot of fat loss or a lot of inflammation loss, then you'll want to make sure you replace those with some healthy minerals, either through electrolytes or a good multimineral. So, Vian, we're going to talk about the differences at the very end. We are kind of mid-time, so I always take a break here to say welcome everyone who's new and who has jumped on. I want to see a number one who is brand new to PruvIt or brand new to Ask a Specialist, has never been on our Facebook Live on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. I want to know who's brand new so I know how to address the rest of the time we have here and make sure that you understand what you're drinking when you're drinking Keto OS and Max. And a two, if you've been here before and we've helped you answer some questions and the information you find is very helpful to you. So one, if you're brand new, two, if you have been here before. Marion's saying, how much working out daily? So I get that question a lot. So my gosh, welcome everyone who's new. So John, Alicia, Ricky, and Angie, welcome, Kelly. So how do I use Keto OS? And what time do I take it? And when do I take it? And how much? It is a little bit individualized. Hello to Anna and Ian and Allison, also new to today. And Vance is back again. So if you're doing a shorter workout, we know that Keto OS will put you into ketosis in less than 59 minutes. If you're doing a HIIT workout, just a pop word, and you're only going to work out for 30 minutes or less or 20 minutes, take your Keto OS 45 minutes before your workout. If you're having a longer workout, which is 30 minutes to maybe 2 hours, then take your Keto OS about 30 minutes before your workout. So again, if it's a shorter workout, you take it about 45 minutes out so you maximally can benefit from the ketones. If it's a longer workout, 30 minutes or more, take it about 30 minutes before your workout. Make sure that you stay well hydrated throughout your workout. And if you're doing 2 a day or you're an elite athlete or an endurance athlete, it's okay to take another serving of Keto OS 2 hours post your endurance workout, because we know that ketones actually are muscle preserving. So as you work out, your body's tearing down muscle. It will help maintain your muscle mass. Or someone who's not working out, like grandma who's not able to go out and work out and do her workouts, or someone else, maybe if you're recovering from an injury, not able to work out, this is an amazing time to use Keto OS because ketones are muscle preserving, which is so important as we age. And that's also why we put the extra amino acids in the Max and the 3.0, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So again, welcome number one, everybody who's new. Welcome to having here. Again, I'm here every Wednesday. If I don't get your questions answered, please go to the Help Center, which is the question mark at the top of the PruvItNow.com, or it's all the way at the bottom where it says Contacts Help Center. Press on there and it gives you a lot of product information, a lot of health information that maybe we didn't get a chance to cover here. If you still don't find it there, then you can send your question into support@PruvItHQ.com. So MD Fit Live says, what about people with high blood pressure? Thank you for answering that question. So if you're a person who has high blood pressure, a history of high blood pressure, the first thing is we want to make sure you're well hydrated on any diet, taking Keto OS or not. Number two, whether you're on a supplement or not, make sure you reduce your caffeine because caffeine can elevate the blood pressure. Caffeine can also cause dehydration. The first sign of dehydration is fatigue. It could be tachycardia or increased feeling of your heart rate. It can be fatigue. It can be dizziness. It can be leg cramps. We know that ketones have a mild diuretic effect, so make sure that you're well hydrated. Make sure that you don't take any, or just any, I would say if a blood pressure issue, take the Keto S that's uncharged, no caffeine, stumbling on my words and reading at the same time. And it's safe to take with your blood pressure medication. Just check with your healthcare professional first. Start very slowly, which is a half a serving a day. We're not worried about getting into ketosis, because even if your body doesn't get into ketosis, drinking Keto OS, you still get all the amazing benefits of ketones. Again, just go really slowly and make sure you put electrolyte and extra magnesium in there, because magnesium is so important for blood pressure and for tachycardia. Again, check with your healthcare professional. So John, there's a lot of amazing evidence or information out there. When you Google ketones and autism, I just did this for a friend yesterday. I got 12 pages of information about the ketogenic diet and ketones. I was in Banff last fall at the Ketogenic Therapies Conference, a ton of research being produced about ketones and autism, ketones and Asperger's, ketones and ADHD, a ton of information out there. So just Google that information and do a little bit of research yourself. I like to say, like Rob DeVore does, be a little skeptical, do a little bit of research. Don't take everything that I say, don't take everything that's printed in the Help Center, but do your own research and find those other healthcare professionals out there that are doing the work in the labs and getting the information to us. So Cheryl says, how do you know if you're in ketosis? She said ketones. So Cheryl, there's 3 different ways. You can either check with the urine stick so you can drink the Keto OS, or if you want to see if you're in natural ketosis, take the ketone urine strips. I'll have one here next week to show everybody. And you simply just pee on the stick. If it changes any color at all, then you know you're in ketosis. So a lot of people, I'll say, pee on the stick in the morning, drink your Keto OS, go back 45 minutes later, pee on the stick. If it changes color, you're in ketosis. There's also a blood meter that is just like a glucose meter, but it's a blood ketone meter. If the level's above 0.5, and optimal levels are 0.5 to 3.0 or 3.5, those are optimal levels for blood ketone levels. Your blood will register something over 0.5. That means you're in ketosis. And then Ketonics has a breath meter that you actually hook up to your computer that will tell you, yes, you're in ketosis, and no, you're not, or yellow, you're close. So there's 3 different ways to check that. But sometimes people can just intuitively, people who've been in ketosis for a long time, know that it's how they feel. So I'm going to go back up here to kidney questions. Keto OS is water soluble. So if you have one kidney, if you've had a history of any type of renal or kidney issues, I saw a question about transplant. Check with your healthcare provider first. But again, in that Help Center, there's amazing information about why ketones are safe for your liver and safe for your kidneys, because again, your body's not making endogenous, they are exogenous, they are water soluble. Your body's been doing this in a native state for a very long time. So your body knows what to do with excess ketones. It will excrete out what it doesn't need. It doesn't store it for a rainy day. So know that it is safe. If you have one kidney, you're a transplant, you've had a history of UTIs, just make sure you're well hydrated. If you're on transplant, there's many different ways that doctors monitor that. Dr. Jason Fung wrote a great book called The Obesity Code. He talks about ketogenic diet and dialysis and renal kidney failure. So a lot of great books out there. Just kind of find what your target is that you're looking for. Christy's asking, is Keto OS okay to take with I think rheumatoid. So Keto OS is safe to take with any prescription medication, but please check with your pharmacist or doctor before. It is a great anti-inflammatory. I saw some questions about rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, maybe even acute strain sprain or post-surgery, any type of inflammation, any gout, anything like that. Keto OS is amazing supplement for. It's not a treatment, it's a supplement to help your body stop that inflammatory cascade from happening. So it's a great way to help your body no matter what type of inflammation it is to help reduce that type of inflammation. So Amy, my answer is yes, I would recommend Keto OS to someone with that condition. So Rebecca's saying, is half a pack a day effective? So Rebecca, if you're already a keto adapted, fat adapted, maybe a half a serving is what you need. A lot of people can tell if you get too many ketones, again, if you get too many ketones, your body just excretes them out. But you will find either some gastric disturbances or maybe a headache or maybe just not feeling very good, like kind of lethargic or fatigued, then you know that you need to reduce the serving. So if like my mom takes a half a serving every day, she feels amazing. If she takes more, she just doesn't feel right. So go by how your body feels. And maybe what happens, the more fat adapted that you are, the more that your body may only want to use a half of a serving of Keto OS, or maybe you want to drink it over a longer period of time. It's really super individualized. I kind of tell people, what time do you eat dinner? What time do you drink water? It's different for everyone, but focus on how you feel. Pick out your top 3 reasons that you said, yes, I want to order Keto OS. If it's for fat loss, if it's for focus, if it's for energy, and really kind of take a good 5 to 10 days to say, okay, I'm actually sleeping better, my focus is better, and go on how your body feels, and that will tell you what the serving is for you. Paula, yes, you can take Keto OS with any other nutritional supplement. So Amanda's saying, okay, Amanda. So John's asking really quick again, how much before a workout? John, it depends on the style of athlete that you are. We have many elite endurance athletes that will take, well, I'll just talk about my husband. He takes one full serving. My 4 sons, I'll take one full serving. They do a good hour workout. So they take it about 30 minutes before their workout. Even sometimes during the warm up, I've got a kid who plays elite hockey. He travels and plays 3 to 4 games in a weekend, which is, 2 hours back to back, 2 hours back to back. He will actually drink Keto-S in between games on the ice, again, wherever it kind of fits for his body or when he feels tired or fatigued. So I'm